Hey everyone, and welcome back to Cosmic Currents. Today we re-talking about something that's probably the single most important, and yet most overlooked part of your entire astrological birth chart. Your chart ruler. You know that feeling. That deep-seated sense of being a bit lost, of not quite knowing what your purpose is or where you're meant to be heading. Or maybe you've spent years identifying with your sun sign, you're strong, driven Leo, or your compassionate, intuitive Pisces only, to realize that while it fits, it doesn't quite capture the whole picture of you. It's like a good profile photo, but it's not the full album of your life. It's that feeling of looking for a deeper anchor, a more profound spiritual compass that can guide you through life's currents. And that, my friend, is exactly what your chart ruler is. Before we dive into the stars, if you're finding these insights helpful, please hit that like and subscribe button. It helps this energy reach more people who need it. Drop a comment below and tell me a question you're asking the universe right now. Alright, find a comfortable spot and let's align our energy with the cosmos. So, let's start with the basics. What exactly is a chart ruler? Think of your birth chart not as a static map, but as a dynamic city. Each planet and house is a building, a neighborhood, or a street. And in every city there's a mayor, a governor, someone who holds the key to the city's power and its overall direction. In your birth chart, that's your chart ruler. It's the single planet that has the most profound influence on your life's path, your personality, and your destiny. It's not just one aspect of you, it's the conductor of your entire cosmic symphony. Your sun sign might be the leading instrument, but your chart ruler is the one who sets the tempo, directs the melody, and ensures every note is played in harmony with your true self. You see, while your sun sign, what most people think of when they say, "I'm a Scorpio," represents your core ego and conscious identity, and your moon sign represents your emotional world and inner needs. Your chart ruler is the energetic force that weaves everything together. It's the you that is in charge of your life's journey, the one who calls the shots on a soul level. It's the ultimate expression of your personal power. Without understanding your chart ruler, you're navigating your life with only part of the map. You might be making choices that feel right intellectually, but they don't quite resonate with your deepest truth, simply because you haven't yet tapped into this core energy. This is a common experience, a subtle yet persistent feeling of misalignment that so many of us feel. We try to be who we think we should be, based on what society or our sun sign tells us, and we wonder why it feels like we're rowing against the current. The chart ruler is your personal key to effortless flow. When you align with its energy, you're not fighting anymore. You're surfing the waves of your own destiny. Imagine a scenario: you've been working at a job that feels stable and secure, perfectly aligned with your grounded Taurus sun, but inside you feel this nagging restlessness. You have this constant urge to travel, to explore, to learn new languages, and to connect with people from different cultures. This isn't just a fleeting desire, it's a profound yearning. You can't figure out why this impulse is so strong when your sun sign loves stability. But what if your chart ruler is Jupiter, the planet of expansion and exploration, placed in your 9th house of travel and higher learning? Suddenly, that inner pull makes perfect sense. Your soul is asking you to go on a grand adventure, and your chart ruler is the cosmic force pushing you in that direction, a direction that feels more authentic than the one you've been on. So, the question for you to reflect on is this: what part of your personality or what deep desire feels like it's at odds with the person you think you are? This is the first step in this journey, recognizing that the answers you've been seeking are not hidden, but are simply waiting for you to look in the right place. And that place is your chart ruler. We're going to unpack how to find it, what it means, and most importantly, how to use this knowledge to live a life that is truly, authentically yours. Alright, so you're ready to find your own cosmic mayor, your chart ruler. The first and most critical piece of the puzzle, the absolute starting point, is not your sun sign. It's not your moon sign. It's your ascendant, or what many people call your rising sign. This is the single most important point in your birth chart for this particular purpose. I know that might come as a surprise if you're new to this, as we're so often told to focus on our sun sign, but trust me on this. The ascendant is the sign that was on the eastern horizon at the exact moment you were born. It's the face you show to the world, the filter through which you experience life, and the energy you project outward. It's your initial response to new people and situations. Think of it this way: your sun sign is your true conscious self, the person you are when you're alone, when you're living in full authenticity. But your ascendant is the vehicle you use to navigate the world. It's your body, your demeanor, your style, your immediate persona. It's the first impression you make. For example, if you're a sensitive Cancer sun, you might be a warm and nurturing person at your core. But if your ascendant is fiery Aries, the world sees you as a direct go-getter, someone who takes charge. The world responds to the Aries, and you learn to lead with that energy, even if you are, at your core, a gentle Cancer. The ascendant is so powerful because it governs your physical body and your outward life path. It sets up the entire house system of your chart, which is a blueprint for every area of your life, from your finances to your relationships, your career, and your home life. Now, why is this so crucial for finding your chart ruler? Because the chart ruler is simply the ruling planet of your ascendant sign. It's that simple, yet that profound. The planet that rules the sign on your ascendant is the one that is literally in charge of your life's vehicle. It's the one that steers the car, decides where you're going, and influences how you get there. If you don't know your ascendant, you can't find your chart ruler, and you're missing the key to unlocking your own destiny. Let's use a real-world example. Imagine you've always felt misunderstood. You're a creative, innovative Aquarius sun, but people constantly comment on how passionate and emotional you are. They say you have this intensity about you that doesn't quite match the detached, intellectual Aquarius stereotype. You've wondered, am I a fake Aquarius? Is there something wrong with me? But then you discover your ascendant is Scorpio. The planet that traditionally rules Scorpio is Pluto or Mars, which we'll get to later. But for now, let's stick with Pluto. The moment you realize this, it all clicks. Your chart ruler is Pluto. Pluto is the planet of intensity, transformation, and powerful emotions. It governs the subconscious and the raw, unexpressed parts of ourselves. Suddenly, your deep emotional nature makes perfect sense. It's not at odds with your Aquarius sun. It's a core part of the cosmic vehicle you were born to drive. You're an Aquarian soul experiencing life through a Plutonian lens. The ascendant isn't just a mask. It's your primary mode of operation. It's the lens you look through and the energy you project. By understanding your ascendant, you can stop fighting against what you perceive to be conflicting parts of your personality and start seeing them as complementary aspects of a single, beautiful whole. You can start to understand why you react the way you do in certain situations, or why certain opportunities seem to align with you more than others. Your ascendant is the cosmic key, and the ruling planet is the spiritual code that unlocks it. So the next time you feel a disconnect between who you are and how the world sees you, I want you to ask yourself this question. Am I looking at my personality from the perspective of my sun sign, or am I embracing the energy of my ascendant and its ruling planet? This is the first truly empowering step in finding your chart ruler, getting to know your ascendant intimately, because once you've identified that rising sign, the next step finding its ruler is as simple as looking it up. And we'll do exactly that in the next section. Now that you've identified your ascendant, the exciting part begins. This is where you connect that rising sign to its specific ruling planet, and this is the magic key you've been waiting for. The rule is simple and absolute. Once you know your ascendant, you automatically know your chart ruler because each sign has a specific planet that governs it. The only thing you need to remember is the traditional planetary rulerships, and don't worry, you don't have to memorize them. ULL becomes so familiar with them through this process that they LL just become a part of your spiritual vocabulary. Let's break down the core principle here. The zodiac is an energetic blueprint. Each of the 12 signs is an expression of a certain type of energy. And just as a country has a leader who embodies its values, each zodiac sign has a planetary ruler that is the purest embodiment of its core energy. For example, if you have a fiery Aries ascendant, its ruling planet is Mars. Mars is the planet of action, drive, and initiation. So, your life's path is fundamentally about taking action, asserting yourself, and leading the way. The energy of your life is ruled by the energy of Mars. Your chart ruler is Mars, period. This rule is a fixed part of astrology. You don't have to look for your chart ruler, you simply have to know the ruler of your ascendant. It's like knowing that the ruler of the United States is the president. You don't need to search for who it is. You just need to know the name. Once you know your ascendant, you know your ruler. Let's run through a hypothetical but very real scenario. You've just calculated your birth chart online, and you see your ascendant is in Gemini. Gemini is the sign of communication, curiosity, and adaptability. What is the planetary ruler of Gemini? Mercury? So, your chart ruler is Mercury. This means that your life's journey, your core essence, and the way you express yourself in the world are all fundamentally governed by the principles of Mercury. Your life is about learning, communicating, and connecting ideas. Your ability to think, speak, and process information is a huge part of your destiny. When you're in a state of flow, you're likely engaging your mind, talking to people, and moving between different interests with ease. When you're out of alignment, you might feel like your voice is being heard, or that you express your thoughts clearly. Now, let's take another example. Maybe your ascendant is in Libra. Libra is the sign of balance, harmony, and relationships. Its traditional ruling planet is Venus. This means that your chart ruler is Venus. Your life path is deeply tied to relationships, beauty, harmony, and creating a sense of balance. You are here to bring people together, to create a life that is aesthetically pleasing, and to find your purpose through connection with others. You are not meant to be a lone wolf. Your highest form of expression will almost always involve partnerships and collaboration. The key insight here is that the quality of your life's energy is defined by this planetary ruler. It tells you what your core motivations are, what brings you a sense of purpose, and where you'll find your greatest lessons and your greatest triumphs. Your chart ruler is like your spiritual compass. It points you to your true north. Your sun sign might tell you who you are, but your chart ruler tells you how you are meant to navigate the world. So, for your own self-reflection, I want you to ask yourself, what do I know about the traditional qualities of the ruling planet of my ascendant? Look it up. Read about its mythology, its energy, and its core principles. This is the beginning of a beautiful conversation with your own soul. In our next section, we list out the specific rulers for all 12 signs, so you can quickly find yours and start to connect with this powerful energy. Now, for the moment of truth. You know your ascendant, and you understand the rule. Now let's connect the dots and lay out the traditional rulers for each of the 12 signs. This is your quick reference guide to finding your chart ruler. Let's go around the zodiac wheel one by one. If your ascendant is in Aries, your ruler is Mars. This means your life's energy is driven by action, assertion, courage, and a pioneering spirit. You are here to lead and initiate. If your ascendant is in Taurus, your ruler is Venus. Your path is about creating stability, finding comfort, appreciating beauty, and valuing what you have. You are here to build and to ground yourself in the physical world. If your ascendant is in Gemini, your ruler is Mercury. Your journey is all about communication, curiosity, learning, and adaptability. You are here to connect ideas and bridge different worlds. If your ascendant is in Cancer, your ruler is the Moon. Your life's purpose is deeply tied to emotions, intuition, nurturing, and home. You are here to create a safe space for yourself and others. If your ascendant is in Leo, your ruler is the Sun. Your essence is about self-expression, creativity, confidence, and leadership. You are here to shine and inspire others. If your ascendant is in Virgo, your ruler is Mercury. Your path is about service, analysis, perfection, and self-improvement. You are here to bring order and efficiency to the world. If your ascendant is in Libra, your ruler is Venus. Your journey is about partnerships, harmony, balance, and diplomacy. You are here to create and maintain connection with others. If your ascendant is in Scorpio, your ruler is Pluto. This is a powerful one. Your life's work is tied to transformation, rebirth, intensity, and uncovering the truth. You are here to go deep and face what others avoid. If your ascendant is in Sagittarius, your ruler is Jupiter. Your path is about expansion, growth, philosophy, and seeking a higher truth. You are here to explore and share your wisdom. If your ascendant is in Capricorn, your ruler is Saturn. Your journey is about discipline, responsibility, ambition, and structure. You are here to build a legacy and master your chosen field. If your ascendant is in Aquarius, your ruler is Uranus. Your life is about innovation, originality, humanitarianism, and breaking from tradition. You are here to revolutionize and bring about change. And finally, if your ascendant is in Pisces, your ruler is Neptune. Your path is about spirituality, intuition, creativity, and compassion. You are here to dream and to connect with the collective consciousness. Now, you may have heard that Scorpio also has a traditional ruler of Mars, Aquarius has a traditional ruler of Saturn, and Pisces has a traditional ruler of Jupiter. This is true. The more modern, outer planets Uranus, Neptune, Pluto were discovered later and assigned to these signs. For the purpose of finding your chart ruler, you can use the modern ruler if you feel it resonates more with you. Some astrologers use both, with the traditional ruler representing the physical, practical manifestation of the energy, and the modern ruler representing its higher, more spiritual expression. For example, if you have a Scorpio ascendant, your chart is ruled by Pluto, the planet of deep transformation and power, but Mars, the planet of action and drive, is also a key player in your chart and can represent a more practical way you express that intensity. The choice is yours, but for the purposes of this podcast, just know that you have one clear primary ruler, and it is the planet that aligns with your ascendant. Let's take a moment to imagine the energy of your specific ruler. If your ruler is Saturn, the planet of hard work and boundaries, you might find that your biggest life lessons come from learning to be patient, disciplined, and responsible. Your ultimate success will feel deeply earned, built on a solid foundation. If your ruler is Neptune, the planet of dreams and spirituality, you might find that your biggest challenges are in setting boundaries and staying grounded, but your greatest gifts are in your intuition, compassion, and artistic abilities. So take a moment now and just connect with that planet. Don't worry about its placement yet. Just feel its core energy. What is the first word that comes to mind when you hear the name of your chart ruler? This simple mental exercise is the beginning of a conversation with your own cosmic guide. In the next section, we move on to the next crucial step: finding where this powerful planet is located in your birth chart. Alright, you've found your chart ruler. You know the planet that holds the keys to your destiny? But a planet isn't just a static object in the sky. Its power is defined by where it is located in your birth chart. This is the next crucial step in understanding your chart ruler. You must locate its specific sign and house placement. Think of your chart ruler as a CEO, and the sign and house at SN as its office location, and the company department at S running. This tells you not only what your core energy is, but how and where that energy is being expressed in your life. This is a two-part process. First, find your chart ruler in your birth chart. You can do this easily on any free online astrology calculator. Just input your birth data, and once your chart pops up, look for the symbol of your ruling planet. Let's say your ascendant is Gemini, and your ruler is Mercury. Look for the Mercury symbol, a circle with a cross at the bottom and two horns at the top, on your chart. Once you've found it, you'll see it located in a specific zodiac sign. It might be in fiery Leo or an earthy Virgo or watery Pisces. The sign your chart ruler is in tells you the flavor or the style of its expression. It's the how of your core purpose. This sign placement modifies the energy of your ruler. If your chart ruler is Venus, the planet of love and harmony, but it's in intense, transformative Scorpio, your need for harmony might be expressed through deep, soulful connections and a need to uncover hidden truths in relationships rather than in a superficial or easy way. The Scorpionic energy colors the Venusian need for connection, making it profound and potentially very challenging, but also incredibly rewarding. The second part of this is just as important. Finding the house your chart ruler is in. The houses of the zodiac are 12 distinct areas of life. From your sense of self, 1st house, to your partnerships, 7th house, and your career, 10th house. The house placement of your chart ruler shows you the specific area of life where your core energy is most active and where your life S-path is likely to unfold. It's the where of your destiny. For example, let's say you have that same Gemini ascendant, making your chart ruler Mercury. You found Mercury in your chart, and you see it's located in the 10th house of career and public reputation. This is a massive insight. It means that your life's path ruled by Mercury, the planet of communication and ideas, primarily expressed through your career and public life. Your purpose isn't just to be a good communicator. It's to use your voice and your intellect to build your public standing, to teach, to write, or to lead in a professional capacity. Your personal identity, Gemini ascendant, finds its most potent expression in the public sphere, likely through Mercury-ruled activities like writing, speaking, or networking. This is why two people with the same ascendant can have such different life experiences. You might know someone who is also a Gemini ascendant, but their Mercury is in the 4th house of home and family. Their life's energy is also about communication and ideas. But for them, it's all about creating a nurturing home environment, communicating with their family, or even working from home. Their core identity is expressed privately, while yours is expressed publicly. Neither is better or worse. They are simply different paths guided by the same core planet. This is the beauty of astrology. It's not a one-size-fits-all approach. It's an incredibly personalized map. Finding the sign and house of your chart ruler is like finding the destination on your GPS. You know where you are going. So, for your own reflection, I want you to find your chart ruler in your birth chart and ask, in what sign and what house is my chart ruler located? And how might this be influencing my life right now? This is an immediate, actionable step that will begin to reveal profound truths about your journey. In the next section, we'll dive deeper into the significance of that sign placement and what it reveals about your personal expression. Let's dive deeper into what the sign placement of your chart ruler truly means. This is where your cosmic journey gets a personal signature. The sign your chart ruler is in acts like a filter or a modifier on its core energy. It tells you the how of your destiny, the style with which you express your core self in the world. It's not enough to know that your ruler is Mercury. You also need to know if that Mercury is in a fiery, passionate sign like Leo, or an analytical, earthy sign like Virgo. This distinction is everything. Imagine you're an artist. Your chart ruler is your natural, inherent creative energy. The house at SN tells you where you were meant to create, perhaps in a studio, 10th house, career, or at home, 4th house, family. But the sign it's in is the style of your art. Are you a painter, Venus, working in bright, bold, emotional strokes in the sign of Cancer? Or are you a sculptor, Saturn, working with precise, structured lines and durable materials in the sign of Capricorn? The sign is the flavor, the essence, the unique signature that makes your expression entirely your own. Let's use a concrete example. We talked about a Gemini ascendant with Mercury as the chart ruler. Now, let's consider where that Mercury could be. If your Mercury is in Taurus, the sign of stability and material values, your core purpose, which is to communicate and connect, is expressed with a grounded, practical, and deliberate style. You might be a slow and steady speaker, someone who chooses their words carefully and with great intention. You likely communicate best when discussing things of tangible value, finances, possessions, or practical skills. You might even find your greatest success in a Mercury-ruled field, like writing or speaking, but with a focus on business, food, or art. Your mind is like a bull, stubborn and determined, which can make you a powerful debater, but can also lead to fixed opinions. Now, what if that same Gemini ascendant has its Mercury in a different sign, like Sagittarius? Sagittarius is the sign of expansion, philosophy, and higher truth. In this case, your core purpose of communication takes on a much broader, more philosophical scope. You're not interested in the details. You're interested in the big picture. Your mind is like an archer's arrow, always aiming for a higher purpose. You might speak and think very quickly, often jumping from one big idea to the next. This is the profound difference that sign placement makes. It shows you the unique energetic lens through which your core life purpose is filtered. It's the reason why two people with the same ascendant can approach the same life challenge in completely different ways. The Taurus Mercury would likely approach a problem with patience and methodical steps, while the Sagittarius Mercury would approach it with a sense of optimism and a search for the overarching truth behind the challenge. One is building a strong foundation. The other is exploring a new horizon. Both are valid paths, but they are intrinsically different. Understanding this allows you to stop fighting your natural inclinations. If you have a chart ruler in a more passive sign like Taurus or Pisces, don't force yourself to be a bold, assertive go-getter. Instead, lean into your natural style. Embrace your patience and receptivity. If your chart ruler is in an action-oriented sign like Aries or Sagittarius, don't get frustrated if you can't stay still. Embrace your restlessness and let it guide you towards new experiences. The question for your reflection today is this: does the style of my chart ruler's sign placement feel familiar to how I approach life? Or does it feel like a hidden part of me I'm not yet fully expressing? Sit with that. This is your personal energy signature. In our next section, we'll move on to the equally important part of this equation, the house placement, which tells you the where of your destiny. Now that you've got a feel for the unique style of your chart ruler's sign placement, let's turn our attention to the house it occupies. If the sign is the how, the house is the where, the specific area of life where your core energy is most powerfully expressed. This is often the most direct and actionable piece of information you can get from your chart ruler. It tells you where your purpose is meant to unfold, where your lessons are centered, and where your greatest triumphs and challenges will likely occur. Imagine your chart ruler as a character in a play. The sign it's in tells you what kind of personality that character has. Are they bold and confident, or quiet and reflective? The house, on the other hand, tells you which stage they are on. Are they the star of a drama about career and public life, 10th house? Or are they leading a story about home and family, 4th house? The setting is everything, and it directs the plot of your life. Let's use our same example of a Gemini ascendant with Mercury as the chart ruler. We already explored how the sign placement of Mercury colors its expression. But let's now see how its house placement directs that energy. If your Mercury is in the 2nd house of finances and values, your core purpose, which is communication and learning, is directly tied to the way you earn money and what you value. You might find your greatest success by using your intellect and communication skills to make a living. Perhaps you're a writer, a teacher, or a consultant, but your work is centered on financial matters, personal values, or how people earn a living. This placement suggests your mind is a powerful tool for generating income, and your most important life lessons will revolve around money and self-worth. Your life story is about the connection between your intellect and your material reality. Now, let's say that same Gemini ascendant has its Mercury in the 11th house of community and hopes. Here, your core purpose of communication is expressed through groups, friendships, and your hopes for the future. You are likely a natural networker, someone who uses their mental agility to connect with a wide variety of people. Your ideas and your voice are meant to be shared with a collective. You might be a community organizer, a social media manager, or someone who leads a club or a group. Your sense of purpose and identity is deeply tied to the people you surround yourself with and the shared visions you work toward. You see how the house placement changes the entire focus. The ruler is the same, but the life experience is fundamentally different. This is why you might feel a natural pull toward a certain area of life. It's not just a random interest. It's your chart ruler guiding you to the stage where you are meant to play the starring role. When you work in alignment with this house, you'll feel an incredible sense of flow and purpose. When you resist it, you might feel like you're constantly pushing against a locked door. This knowledge empowers you to make more aligned choices. If your chart ruler is in your 5th house of creativity, you'll feel a deep sense of purpose when you're creating. If it's in your 6th house of service and daily routines, you'll find your greatest fulfillment in being of service to others and in perfecting your daily work. The house is your cosmic instruction manual. It tells you which department of your life needs your conscious attention and energy to thrive. The question for your reflection today is this. When I think about the area of life represented by my chart ruler's house, does it feel like a place of strength and purpose, or a place where I often encounter my biggest challenges? Both are valid, and both are part of the journey. The house of your ruler is your cosmic playground, and in the next section, we'll take it a step further and explore the relationships your ruler has with other planets in your chart. We've covered the what, the how, and the where of your chart ruler. Now, let's talk about the who, or more accurately, the what else. Your chart ruler doesn't exist in a vacuum. It is constantly in relationship with the other planets in your birth chart through a series of geometric angles called aspects. These aspects are like conversations, agreements, or disagreements between your chart ruler and the other players on your life stage. They add layers of complexity, challenge, and opportunity to its core energy. Think of your chart ruler as the protagonist of your life story. The aspects it makes to other planets are the plot twists. A conjunction where your ruler is right next to another planet is like a close partnership. Their energies are merged and they work as a team, for better or worse. An opposition where your ruler is directly across from another planet is a tug of war, a dynamic tension that can lead to great growth or constant friction. A trine or sextile is a harmonious flow, a supportive alliance that makes it easy for you to express that part of yourself. A square, on the other hand, is a challenge, a roadblock that forces you to take action and overcome an obstacle. Let's continue with our Gemini Ascendant and Mercury ruler example. We've established that Mercury is in charge of your life's journey, guiding you through communication and learning. Now, let's add in the aspects. What if your chart ruler, Mercury, is in a square with Saturn, the planet of discipline and hard work? This aspect creates a dynamic tension. While you have a core need to communicate and learn Mercury, you might find that you struggle with a sense of restriction or self-doubt Saturn. You might feel that your ideas are not good enough, or that your voice is being suppressed. This challenge, however, is not a curse. It's a cosmic push to develop a more disciplined approach to your communication. You might have to work harder than others to express yourself clearly, but this very tension could force you to become a more structured, methodical, and ultimately more authoritative speaker or writer. The square isn't about failure. It's about a necessary struggle that leads to mastery. On the other hand, what if your Mercury is in a trine with Jupiter, the planet of luck and expansion? This is a beautiful, easy flow of energy. Your core need to learn and communicate is naturally supported by Jupiter's expansive, optimistic energy. Ideas flow easily to you, and you might find that opportunities to travel, teach, or publish come to you without much effort. You're likely a natural storyteller with a mind that is constantly expanding. This harmonious aspect makes it easy for you to align with your chart ruler's purpose, and it can feel like your destiny is unfolding effortlessly. The aspects to your chart ruler are the subtle and sometimes not so subtle nuances that define your life's journey. They tell you where your natural talents lie and where your biggest growth opportunities are. They are the details that make your map truly unique. By looking at these aspects, you can stop blaming yourself for certain struggles or taking your natural gifts for granted. You can see them as part of a larger cosmic plan that is designed specifically for your soul's evolution. So, for your own reflection, I want you to look at your birth chart and identify the major aspects your chart ruler makes to other planets. Then, ask yourself, are there specific challenges or gifts in my life that I now see reflected in these planetary conversations? This is a powerful practice of self. In the next section, we'll start to put all these pieces together by exploring the relationship between your chart ruler and the two most talked about planets, your sun and moon. We've covered the nuances of your chart ruler, but now let's put it in context with the planets you already know so well, the sun and the moon. While your sun sign represents your conscious ego and your moon sign represents your emotional self, the chart ruler is the vehicle that carries both of these energies through life. Understanding how they work together is key to a holistic self-understanding. Your sun and moon show you who you are, but your chart ruler shows you how you are here to express that. Think of your sun sign as the mission statement of your soul. It's your purpose, your identity, and your core drive. Your chart ruler is the CEO who carries out that mission. For example, your sun might be in carrying Cancer, so your mission is to nurture, protect, and create emotional safety. But if your ascendant is bold, Aries, your chart ruler is Mars. This means your life's path is governed by action and assertion. Mars, the Cancer sun, isn't at odds with the Aries ascendant. Instead, you are here to nurture and protect your community, Cancer, by taking bold, courageous action, Mars. You don't nurture by sitting back and being passive. You do it by being a trailblazer, a leader who fights for the well-being of others. The chart ruler's relationship with the sun is critical. If your chart ruler makes a harmonious aspect to your sun like a trine or a sextile, your conscious purpose and your life's path are in natural alignment. You likely feel an innate sense of purpose and find it relatively easy to express your authentic self in the world. Your who and your how are working together. If your chart ruler squares or opposes your sun, it can feel like your core identity is constantly at odds with the path you are on. This doesn't mean something is wrong. It means your journey is designed to challenge you to integrate these two parts of yourself. It's a call to become more conscious of how you can bridge the gap between your inner purpose and your outward actions. Let's use a real-world scenario. You are a Leo sun, which means you are meant to shine, create, and be the star of your own life. But your chart ruler, thanks to a Virgo ascendant, is Mercury. Your life's path is ruled by the need for perfection, analysis, and service. At first, this can feel confusing. You have this internal drive to be a big, bold Leo, but your external reality keeps pushing you toward meticulous detail and humble service. Mercury in Virgo. The challenge is to find the balance. You can't just be a leader. You have to lead with a service-oriented, analytical mind. Perhaps your purpose is to be a leader who meticulously plans every detail, or a creative person who uses their art to bring order and efficiency to others' lives. You might be a manager who not only inspires but also creates a perfect system for their team. The Sun chart ruler relationship is the core dynamic of your personality. It's the conversation between your conscious self and your life's vehicle. When you feel a sense of internal conflict, it is often this relationship at play, and understanding it can lead to profound self-acceptance. So, for your self-reflection today, I want you to ask yourself, how does my sun sign's purpose show up in my life's journey? And does it feel like my chart ruler is helping or hindering that expression? This is not about judgment, it's about observation. In our next section, we'll move on to a deeper, more emotional layer by exploring the relationship between your chart ruler and your moon sign. We've explored the relationship between your chart ruler and your conscious identity, the sun. But now let's move into the deeper, more personal waters of the moon. Your moon sign represents your emotional self, your inner world, your needs, and your intuitive instincts. It's the part of you that craves comfort and security. Your chart ruler, as the vehicle of your life's path, has a profound conversation with your emotional core. Understanding this dynamic helps you align your actions with your feelings, leading to a life that feels not just purposeful but also emotionally fulfilling. Think of your moon as the emotional passenger in your life's car. It's not the one driving, but its comfort and well-being are essential to a smooth journey. If your chart ruler, the driver, is constantly ignoring the needs of the moon, the passenger, you might feel like you are on the right path externally, but internally you feel drained, restless, and emotionally unfulfilled. This is a common source of inner conflict. You might be achieving all your goals, but you feel a persistent sense of emptiness. The answer often lies in the disconnect between your life's actions and your deepest emotional needs. Let's use our example of a Gemini ascendant with Mercury as the chart ruler again. Your life's path is about communication and intellect. Now, let's say your moon is in Taurus, a sign that craves stability, sensory pleasure, and a deep connection to the material world. Here's the potential disconnect. Your life's purpose, Mercury, is to be a fast-moving, adaptable, and mentally agile person. But your emotional core Taurus moon needs to feel grounded, secure, and unhurried. The tension might arise when your Mercury-ruled life path pushes you to take on too many projects, to travel too much, or to be constantly on the go. Your moon will feel overwhelmed and anxious, craving stillness and predictability. The lesson here is not to abandon your Mercury-driven path, but to find a way to honor your Taurus moon within that journey. Maybe you can use your communication skills to create a business that provides stability. Perhaps you can schedule regular Taurus time to slow down, enjoy nature, or indulge in a good meal even while you are moving a million miles a minute. The goal is to build a bridge between the two energies, so your life's journey feels both productive and emotionally nourishing. On the other hand, a harmonious aspect between your chart ruler and your moon can indicate a natural alignment between your actions and your feelings. If your Mercury chart ruler is in a beautiful trine with your moon in Aquarius, your emotional self-Aquarius moon is naturally aligned with your intellectual and communicative path, Mercury. You feel emotionally safe when you're connecting with groups, sharing new ideas, and being a part of a collective. Your life's work of communication and learning naturally satisfies your emotional need for intellectual freedom and humanitarian connection. This isn't about changing who you are. It's about understanding why you feel the way you do and learning to navigate your own inner landscape with compassion. When you feel out of sync, ask yourself if your life's vehicle is honoring the needs of its most precious passenger, your emotional self. So, for your own reflection today, ask yourself, how does my chart ruler's path either support or challenge my emotional needs, as represented by my moon sign? This is an incredibly powerful piece of self-knowledge. In the next section, we'll expand this discussion to include the other personal planets Mercury, Venus, and Mars and see how they interact with your chart ruler. Alright, let's expand our perspective beyond the Sun and Moon and bring in the other three crucial inner planets. Mercury, Venus, and Mars. These planets represent fundamental parts of your personality, your mind, your values, and your drive, and their relationship to your chart ruler tells a deeper story about how you operate in the world. Your chart ruler is the vehicle, and these planets are like the essential systems within it: the engine, the navigation, and the sound system. Understanding how they work with your chart ruler gives you a more nuanced picture of your inner mechanics. First, let's talk about Mercury. We already know Mercury's core energy is communication and intellect. If your chart ruler is Mercury due to a Gemini or Virgo ascendant, then the energy of your life's path is directly tied to your mind and your ability to express yourself. The more you develop your mental agility, the more aligned you are with your destiny. But even if your chart ruler is not Mercury, the aspects it makes to Mercury in your chart are incredibly telling. For example, if your chart ruler is Jupiter Sagittarius ascendant and it makes a strong square to your Mercury, you might find that your expansive, optimistic ideas, Jupiter, are often at odds with the practical day-to-day communication you need to engage in Mercury. You might have grand visions that are difficult to articulate in a way that others can understand, and your journey is to learn how to bridge that gap. Next, we have Venus, the planet of love, values, and harmony. The way your chart ruler interacts with your Venus tells you a lot about how you attract what you desire and what you find valuable. If your chart ruler makes a powerful conjunction with your Venus, your personal path is deeply tied to your relationships, your aesthetics, or your financial values. For instance, if you have a Cancer ascendant, ruler moon, and your moon is conjunct Venus, your life's journey is fundamentally about nurturing beauty, creating harmonious relationships, and finding emotional security through love. You might find that when your relationships are out of balance, your entire life feels off-kilter. Finally, we have Mars, the planet of action, drive, and assertion. Mars is your ambition, your will, and your energy. The aspects your chart ruler makes to Mars show you how you take action on your life's path. If your chart ruler makes a positive aspect to Mars, your ability to initiate and go after what you want is in natural alignment with your destiny. You are a go-getter and your drive feels purposeful. But what if your chart ruler is in a challenging aspect, like an opposition to your Mars? This might suggest a struggle between your life's core purpose and your natural instinct to act. You might feel a constant internal push and pull, a sense of having to fight to move forward on your path. A good example is a Taurus ascendant ruler, Venus. With Venus in a square to Mars, your core desire is for peace and stability, Venus, but your drive, Mars, is pulling you toward conflict and quick action. Your challenge is to learn to assert yourself in a way that doesn't disrupt your inner sense of harmony. Understanding these dynamics empowers you to see that your flaws or inner conflicts are actually energetic conversations happening within you. They are not weaknesses. They are the very things that make your life story unique. The key is not to eliminate them, but to become conscious of them so you can work with them. So, for your self-reflection today, look at the aspects between your chart, ruler, and Mercury, Venus, and Mars. Ask yourself, how do my communication style, my values, and my drive either support or challenge the path my chart ruler is guiding me on? This is a powerful practice of integrating the different parts of yourself. In the next section, we'll expand even further and look at how the outer planets Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto influence your chart ruler and connect your personal destiny to broader generational themes. So far, we've focused on the inner planets, those that define your immediate personal experience. But your life isn't lived in a bubble. It's happening within the context of larger societal and generational shifts. This is where the outer planets Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto come into play. These are the slow-moving giants of our solar system, and the aspects they make to your chart ruler connect your personal destiny to the collective story. They represent your potential for growth, your life's greatest lessons, your capacity for innovation, your spiritual longings, and your deepest transformations. First, let's talk about Jupiter, the planet of expansion, luck, and wisdom. An aspect between Jupiter and your chart ruler is a massive indicator of your potential for growth. If your chart ruler makes a harmonious aspect to Jupiter, you might find that your life's path is marked by opportunities and a sense of optimism. Doors seem to open for you, and you are naturally drawn to travel, higher education, or philosophical pursuits. If the aspect is a challenge, like a square, it might indicate that your growth is tied to overcoming a sense of excess or over-optimism. You might feel a constant push and pull between wanting to do everything and having to learn to focus. Then there is Saturn, the planet of discipline, responsibility, and structure. Saturn's influence on your chart ruler indicates where your greatest challenges and your most significant life lessons will be. A challenging aspect between Saturn and your chart ruler, such as a conjunction, square, or opposition, is a sign that you are being asked to build a strong foundation for your life's path. This can feel like a heavy burden, like you're constantly facing obstacles or delays. But Saturn is not a villain, it is a teacher. This is the energy that helps you mature, to learn patience, and to build a legacy that will last. A harmonious aspect makes it easier to take on responsibility and structure, so you feel a sense of stability on your journey. Next is Uranus, the planet of sudden change, innovation, and rebellion. When Uranus interacts with your chart ruler, your life's path is likely to be marked by unexpected shifts and a deep need for personal freedom. This can be thrilling but also unsettling. Your journey might not be a straight line, but a series of unexpected twists and turns. You may feel a need to break from tradition and do things in an unconventional way. This is where your ability to innovate and think outside the box is a core part of your destiny. Then there's Neptune, the planet of spirituality, dreams, and illusion. An aspect between Neptune and your chart ruler infuses your life with a deep spiritual or creative energy. Your path might be about compassion, artistry, or even a sense of ungroundedness or confusion. You might feel a constant pull toward the spiritual and a simultaneous struggle with the mundane world. This is where you are asked to trust your intuition and to surrender to a path that isn't always clear, but feels divinely guided. Finally, we have Pluto, the planet of transformation, power, and rebirth. Pluto's influence on your chart ruler is profound and life-altering. An aspect with Pluto suggests your life's journey is one of deep, intense, and often painful transformation. You might be asked to confront your deepest fears, to face your shadow, and to rebuild your life from the ground up. This is not for the faint of heart, but it is where true power and authentic self-mastery are born. You are here to undergo a complete metamorphosis. These outer planets remind you that your personal story is a small but essential part of a much larger cosmic tapestry. Your chart ruler is the thread, and these outer planets are the designs and colors that make your thread's journey so unique. So, for your self-reflection today, look at your birth chart again. What outer planets are making an aspect to your chart ruler, and how do their energies show up in the broad themes of your life? In the next few sections, we'll get even more specific and look at what it means when your chart ruler is located in a few of the most significant houses in your chart. Now that we've covered the general principles of your chart ruler, let us get into the specifics of what it means when your ruler is located in a few of the most significant houses. We'll start with the most powerful placement of all, the first house. The first house is the house of self. It represents your physical body, your appearance, your personality, and the way you initiate things in the world. It is, in essence, the house of your identity. So, when your chart ruler is located here, your core identity is deeply and fundamentally tied to your ascendant. This creates a double emphasis on your sense of self and your physical presence. Your life's purpose is directly about expressing who you are. The essence of your ascendant is magnified and placed at the very forefront of your life. This placement makes you a powerful force of nature. Your entire life's journey is about embodying your true self without apology. You are here to learn about yourself, to develop your personal will, and to express your unique personality in the world. There's a beautiful sense of self-awareness and an innate drive to be who you are, no matter what. You have a heightened sense of your own energy, and you may find that you come across as very authentic and self-assured, even if you don't always feel that way inside. Your actions and your identity are one and the same. A good example of this is a person with a Leo ascendant whose chart ruler, the sun, is also in the first house. This person's life path is fundamentally about shining their light sun and being the center of their own universe. Leo, they are here to be a leader, a creative force, and a source of inspiration. Their entire life journey is a quest to develop and radiate their personal power. They might naturally gravitate toward careers or activities where they can be the star-ran actor, a public speaker, a CEO, but their success is directly tied to their ability to be their most authentic, creative self. When they are not expressing their personality, their entire life can feel dull and meaningless. The moment they step into their personal power, their life begins to flow effortlessly. The challenge with this placement can be a tendency toward self-absorption. Because your identity is such a central theme, you might find yourself overly focused on your own needs and desires, sometimes at the expense of others. The lesson here is to use your self-awareness to become a more effective leader, not just a self-serving one. Your power is meant to be shared, not hoarded. Your purpose is not just to be an individual, but to be a powerful individual who can inspire others. This placement is a cosmic invitation to fall in love with yourself and to trust that your most authentic self is the very thing the universe needs you to be. It's a call to self-empowerment and self-discovery. The more you are yourself, the more you align with your destiny. So for your self-reflection today, if your chart ruler is in the first house, I want you to ask yourself, what does it mean for me to fully embrace my identity, and am I living a life that gives me permission to do so? This is the most direct path to personal power. In our next section, we'll move from the house of self to the house of others, and explore what it means when your chart ruler is located in the 7th house. From the house of I to the house of we, Now let's explore what it means. When your chart ruler is located in the 7th house, the 7th house is the house of relationships, partnerships, and open enemies. It represents your one-on-one connections, your romantic partners, business associates, and anyone you meet on an equal footing. So, when your chart ruler is placed here, your core identity and your life's path are fundamentally tied to others. Your destiny is not something you forge alone. It is something you discover through partnership and connection. This placement means your sense of self is often reflected back to you through the people you attract into your life. You have a deep-seated need for balance and harmony in your relationships. Your journey is to learn about yourself by learning about others. You might find that you have an innate ability to understand different perspectives and to mediate conflicts. You are likely a natural collaborator, and you feel most alive when you are working alongside a partner, whether in a romantic relationship or a business venture. The choices you make are often guided by their impact on your relationships. Let's use an example. Imagine a person with a Taurus ascendant, making their chart ruler Venus, but their Venus is in the 7th house. This person's life path is to create stability, value, and beauty. Taurus, Venus, but they do it primarily through their relationships. Their identity is not just about their own values. It is about how those values are expressed and shared with a partner. Their purpose might be to build a harmonious home life with a partner, to co-create a business with a spouse, or to be a mediator who brings peace to conflicting parties. When they are not in a healthy partnership, their entire life can feel out of balance. Their greatest lessons and their greatest successes are likely to come from the people they are closest to. The challenge with this placement is the risk of losing yourself in a relationship. Because your identity is so tied to others, you might have a tendency to become a chameleon, adapting your personality to suit your partner. You might also struggle with codependency, feeling that you cannot be whole without another person. The lesson here is to learn how to be in a relationship without sacrificing your individuality. Your purpose is not to merge with another person, but to use the mirror of a partnership to discover your own unique self. The 7th house ruler is a call to conscious relationship, where you learn to give and take in equal measure. This placement is a beautiful cosmic invitation to build your life with others, to find your strength in collaboration, and to see every relationship as a profound spiritual lesson. Your greatest power comes from your ability to connect. So for your self-reflection today, if your chart ruler is in the 7th house, I want you to ask yourself, what lessons have my partnerships taught me about who I am, and how can I honor my need for connection without losing my sense of self? This is the path of true partnership. In our next section, we'll move from the relational to the public, and explore what it means when your chart ruler is in the 10th house of career and reputation. From the personal and relational, let's turn our attention to the professional and public. Now we'll explore what it means when your chart ruler is located in the 10th house. The 10th house, also known as the Midheaven MC, is the house of career, public reputation, social standing, and worldly ambition. It represents the highest point of your chart, the mountain you are meant to climb. When your chart ruler is here, your core identity and life's path are fundamentally tied to your professional life and how you are seen by the world. This placement makes your career more than just a job. It is a direct expression of your soul's purpose. Your destiny is to make a mark in the world, to build a legacy, and to be recognized for your contributions. You have a powerful drive for success, and you likely feel a deep sense of purpose when you are working toward your professional goals. You are here to master your chosen field and to be a leader in the public eye. Your success is often a matter of public record, and your personal identity is directly intertwined with your professional achievements. Let's use an example. Imagine a person with a Capricorn ascendant making their chart ruler Saturn. Their Saturn is in the 10th house. This is a powerful and very direct alignment. This person's life path is to create structure, discipline, and to build a legacy. Saturn Capricorn, and they do it primarily through their career. Their identity is that of a master, a builder, and a leader. Their purpose might be to climb the corporate ladder, to start their own business, or to become an authority in their field. Their greatest successes will feel deeply earned, built on a foundation of hard work and responsibility. This person will likely not feel fulfilled in a job that doesn't provide a clear path for growth and authority. Their life is about mastery and public recognition. The challenge with this placement is the risk of becoming overly focused on external validation. You might tie your self-worth to your professional achievements, and if your career is not going well, your entire identity can feel shaken. You might also struggle with work-life balance, as the pull to succeed professionally is so strong. The lesson here is to remember that your purpose is not just to achieve, but to become a responsible and ethical leader. The 10th house ruler is a call to use your power and influence for the greater good, not just for personal gain. It's about building something that matters and leaving a positive impact on the world. This placement is a cosmic invitation to be ambitious, to work hard, and to take your place as a leader. Your greatest power comes from your ability to create and to build a life that serves as a testament to your discipline and vision. So, for your self-reflection today, if your chart ruler is in the 10th house, I want you to ask yourself, what legacy do I want to build? And how can I align my professional ambitions with my soul's purpose? This is the path of true purpose and public contribution. In our next section, we move on to a more challenging topic and explore what it means when your chart ruler is in retrograde. We've talked about the planets and their forward motion, but what about when your chart ruler is retrograde? Retrograde planets are not a curse. They are a profound opportunity for deep internal work. When your chart ruler is retrograde in your birth chart, it means that at the time of your birth, the planet appeared to be moving backward from our perspective on Earth. This placement signifies that your life's path and core purpose will be expressed in a more internalized, reflective, and sometimes unconventional way. Think of a forward-moving planet as a person who expresses their energy outwardly, naturally. A retrograde planet, on the other hand, is a person who spends a lot of time in contemplation, in reflection. The energy isn't lost, it's simply turned inward. Your life's journey is about an inner mastery before an outer expression. The things that come easily to others might require more effort for you, but that effort is what leads to a deeper, more profound understanding. Let's use an example. We'll use our Gemini Ascendant again, so the chart ruler is Mercury. But this time, your Mercury is retrograde. Mercury rules communication, learning, and the mind. A retrograde Mercury chart ruler doesn't mean you are a bad communicator. It means you are an internal communicator. You likely spend a lot of time thinking before you speak, and you might have a natural inclination to be a listener rather than a talker. You might process information in a unique, non-linear way. The conventional path of learning might not work for you, and you might be drawn to unconventional fields of study. The world might not immediately understand your thought process, but your inner world is a rich tapestry of ideas and insights. Your path is about learning to trust your own unique way of thinking and communicating, and in doing so, you become a master of your own mind. The greatest lesson here is to not compare your journey to others. The challenge with a retrograde chart ruler is that it can feel like you are out of step with the world. You might have to work harder to express yourself or to assert your will, but this very challenge is your greatest gift. The retrograde forces you to develop an incredible depth of character and a unique perspective that no one else has. The universe is telling you, don't look for the answers outside of you. The answers are within. This is not a life of ease, but it is a life of deep meaning and incredible personal growth. A retrograde chart ruler is a cosmic invitation to be a spiritual alchemist, to take the raw materials of your inner world and transform them into a unique and powerful expression of self. Your power comes from your ability to look inward and to trust your own intuition. So, for your self-reflection today, if your chart ruler is retrograde, I want you to ask yourself, how can I honor my need for a more internalized journey and stop trying to express my life's purpose in a way that feels unnatural to me? This is the path of inner mastery. In our next section, we'll move on to a powerful karmic point in your chart, the North Node, and explore how it relates to your chart ruler. We've talked about the planets, but let us now bring in a powerful point that is not a planet at all. The North Node. This is one of the two lunar nodes, the points where the moon's orbit crosses the ecliptic, the sun's path. The North Node represents your soul's evolutionary path in this lifetime, the lessons you are here to learn and the direction you are meant to move in. It is your ultimate purpose, your cosmic destiny. The relationship between your chart ruler and your North Node is a powerful indicator of how your core identity is meant to align with your highest purpose. Think of your chart ruler as your personal vehicle, and your North Node as the destination on your GPS. When your chart ruler makes a harmonious aspect to your North Node, a trine or sextile, it's like your car is a perfect match for the terrain ahead. Your life's path feels naturally aligned with your soul's purpose. The way you express your core self-chart ruler leads you directly toward the lessons you are here to learn. North Node, it can feel like you are on the right track, even if the journey is challenging. Let's use an example. Imagine a person with a Taurus, ascendant ruler, Venus, and their North Node is in Virgo. Their life's path is about creating stability, beauty, and value. Venus and their soul's purpose is about service, health, and a meticulous, analytical approach to life. Virgo, if their chart ruler Venus makes a positive aspect to their North Node, their natural inclination to create beauty and stability can be used to serve others. They might be a designer who creates beautiful, functional spaces for people, or a massage therapist who uses their healing touch Venus. In a detailed, methodical way, Virgo. The two energies are in natural harmony, and their life feels purposeful because their actions are in sync with their soul's calling. Now, what if the aspect is a challenge, like a square or an opposition? This indicates a dynamic tension between your core identity and your soul's purpose. It's not a bad thing. It's an opportunity for incredible growth. Let's say a person has a Libra ascendant, ruler, Venus, and their North Node is in Capricorn. Their life's path is about creating harmony and partnership, Venus, Libra, but their soul's purpose is about hard work, discipline, and building a public legacy. Capricorn, this can feel like a constant push and pull. You might feel a need to be in a relationship or to please others, but your deepest purpose is to build something on your own, to be a leader and an authority. The lesson is to find a way to integrate these two parts of yourself. Maybe you become a leader who is known for their fairness and diplomacy, or you use your ability to create beautiful partnerships to build a successful business. The challenge is to not let your need for harmony override your need for ambition. The North Node is your spiritual direction, and your chart ruler is the vehicle you use to get there. By understanding the relationship between the two, you can stop fighting against yourself and start moving with a clear sense of purpose. So, for your self-reflection today, I want you to look at your birth chart and identify the relationship between your chart ruler and your North Node. Then, ask yourself, does my core identity feel like it's leading me toward my highest purpose? Or is it a part of me I'm being asked to integrate more consciously? In our next section, we'll dive into the flip side of the coin, the South Node and its relationship with your chart ruler. As we've just seen, the North Node represents your forward-moving path. Now, let's talk about its counterpart, the South Node. While the North Node is your destiny, the South Node is your past. It represents the accumulated skills, habits, and comfort zones from past lives or early life experiences. It is where you feel most at ease, but it can also be the place where you get stuck if you're not careful. The relationship between your chart ruler and your South Node shows you how your core identity is influenced by the past, and how those past tendencies can be either a foundation or a crutch on your journey. Think of the South Node as your cosmic backpack. It's filled with all the tools and skills you've already mastered. The chart ruler is the person carrying the backpack. When your chart ruler makes a harmonious aspect to your South Node, it's a powerful indicator that your life's path is supported by your past strengths. You might have an innate talent or skill that feels second nature to you, and you can use that as a launching pad for your North Node journey. It's like having a free head start. Let's use our example of a Libra ascendant. Ruler, Venus again. But this time their South Node is in Aries. The South Node in Aries means that in a past life, this person was very focused on the self, on action, and on being a pioneer. They are innately assertive and a go-getter. If their chart ruler, Venus, makes a positive aspect to their South Node, their natural inclination to create harmony and partnership, Venus, is supported by their inherent assertiveness, Aries, South Node. They can use their past life courage to initiate new relationships or to fight for fairness. They don't have to learn to be bold. They already are. Their past self is a powerful ally on their current journey. Now, what if the aspect is a challenge? A square or an opposition between your chart ruler and your South Node can indicate that your life S-path chart ruler is in conflict with your past life comfort zones. You might feel a constant pull to go back to what is familiar, even if you know it's not serving your growth. For instance, a Sagittarius ascendant ruler, Jupiter, with a South Node in Gemini. The South Node in Gemini suggests a past life focus on information gathering, communication, and being an intellectual, Jacuval traits. Your current life path Jupiter is about expansion, wisdom, and committing to a higher truth. The challenge is the constant temptation to get stuck in the surface-level details and to avoid the deep philosophical dive that Jupiter is calling you to take. The comfort zone of being a curious, fast-talking intellectual might hold you back from becoming a wise and expansive teacher. Your journey is to learn to let go of the past tendencies that are no longer serving you and to trust in the bigger picture. The South Node is not a bad thing. It's a tool. The key is to not get stuck in its comfortable energy. Your chart ruler's relationship to the South Node shows you which tools from your cosmic backpack you can use and which ones you need to put down in order to move forward. So, for your self-reflection today, look at your chart ruler's relationship to your South Node. Then, ask yourself, what innate skills or comforts do I possess that are holding me back from my ultimate purpose? And how can I turn them into a powerful foundation for my growth? This is a powerful practice of conscious release and integration. In our next section, we'll move on to another crucial point in your chart, the midheaven, and explore how it relates to your chart ruler. We've talked about the midheaven MC before as the cusp of the 10th house, but let's look at it more specifically now. The midheaven is the most public point in your chart. It represents your career, your public status, your reputation, and your ultimate life calling. It's the highest point of the chart, representing the peak of your ambitions. The relationship between your chart ruler and your midheaven is a powerful indicator of how your core identity and life S-path are meant to align with your public calling. Think of your chart ruler as your personal character and the midheaven as the role you are meant to play on the world stage. When your chart ruler is in a harmonious aspect like a trine or sextile to your midheaven, it's a powerful signal that your personality is a natural fit for your public role. You will find it easier to achieve your professional goals and to be recognized for your unique qualities. Your career path feels like a natural extension of who you are. Let's use an example. Imagine a person with a Leo ascendant, making their chart ruler the sun. Their midheaven is in Taurus. The sun's purpose is to shine, to create, and to lead, while the midheaven in Taurus is about building something stable, tangible, and beautiful. If their sun makes a positive aspect to their midheaven, their life's path is to be a leader sun who builds a beautiful and successful business, Taurus MC. They might be a creative director who builds a financially stable company, or an artist whose work is widely recognized for its beauty and value. Their public success comes from a direct expression of their core identity. On the other hand, a challenging aspect like a square or opposition between your chart ruler and your midheaven can feel like a constant internal conflict between your personal life and your professional ambitions. You might feel a tension between who you are on the inside and the role you are expected to play on the outside. Let's say a person with a Pisces ascendant has their chart ruler Neptune in a square to their midheaven in Sagittarius. The Pisces ascendant's path is to be spiritual, intuitive, and compassionate Neptune. But their public calling is to be a teacher, a traveler, or a philosopher, Sagittarius. This can feel confusing. You might feel a constant pull between your private, artistic world and your public, professional life. The lesson here is to find a way to integrate these two parts of you. Perhaps you become a spiritual teacher who travels the world, or an artist whose work explores deep philosophical themes. The square is a call to action, a challenge to find a way to align your personal truth with your public role. The midheaven is your personal calling card to the world, and your chart ruler is the energy that drives that calling. By understanding their relationship, you can stop fighting against yourself and start building a life that feels both authentic and successful. So, for your self-reflection today, look at the relationship between your chart ruler and your midheaven. Then ask yourself, does my career path feel like a direct expression of my core self? Or is it a role I'm still learning to embody? This is a powerful practice of aligning your purpose with your reputation. In our next section, we'll move to the other side of the axis, the Imam Shelley, and explore what it means when your chart ruler is located there. If the midheaven represents the highest point of your public life, then it's opposite. The Imam Shelley IC represents the deepest point of your private life. The IC is the cusp of the fourth house, and it signifies your roots, your home, your family, your emotional foundations, and your sense of belonging. When your chart ruler has a strong connection to your IC, your core identity and life's path are fundamentally tied to your private world. Think of your chart ruler as the guide and the Imam Shelley as the sacred well from which you draw your emotional sustenance. When your chart ruler makes a strong connection to your IC, your personal journey is about creating a sense of emotional security, building a strong home base, and connecting with your roots. Your purpose is not to be a public figure, but to build a rich and meaningful inner life. You likely feel most at home and most at peace when you are in your own space, with your family, or when you are nurturing others. Let's use an example. Imagine a person with a Sagittarius ascendant, making their chart ruler Jupiter. Their IC is in Pisces. Their life's path is to be expansive, to seek higher truth, and to explore Jupiter, but their emotional foundation is deeply spiritual, compassionate, and intuitive Pisces. If their chart ruler, Jupiter, makes a positive aspect to their IC, their need for exploration and growth is fed by their emotional foundation. They might find that their home is a place of deep spiritual practice, or that their family life is what inspires them to seek greater wisdom. They might be a writer who finds inspiration in their private world, or a spiritual teacher who works primarily from their home. Their home is not just a place to live. It is the spiritual launching pad for their life's purpose. On the other hand, a challenging aspect between your chart ruler and your IC can indicate a tension between your life's purpose and your need for emotional security. Let's say a person with a Capricorn ascendant has their chart ruler, Saturn, in a square to their IC in Libra. Their life's path is about building a public legacy and achieving success. Saturn, Capricorn, but their emotional foundation is about harmony, balance, and partnership, Libra. This can create a push and pull. You might feel a constant pressure to work and succeed, but your heart and home crave peace and connection. The lesson here is to not sacrifice your emotional well-being for the sake of your ambition. The challenge is to find a way to create a structured and responsible professional life that also honors your need for a harmonious and balanced home. The Imam Shelley is your anchor, and your chart ruler is the ship you sail. By understanding their relationship, you can ensure that no matter how far your journey takes you, you always have a safe harbor to return to. So, for your self-reflection today, look at the relationship between your chart ruler and your Imam Shelley. Then, ask yourself, How can I build a life that honors both my need for outer success and my need for inner peace and emotional security? This is the path of a well-lived life. In our next section, we'll move on to a powerful and empowering topic: using your chart ruler to find your authentic power. After all of this exploration, the signs, the houses, the aspects, you might be wondering what the ultimate point is. The point, my friend, is empowerment. The purpose of understanding your chart ruler is not just to have a new piece of information. It's to find your authentic power and to learn how to consciously align with it. Your chart ruler is the key to unlocking the most powerful version of yourself, the one who is living in flow and purpose. It is the guide that helps you make decisions that resonate with your soul, not just with your ego. Think of it this way. For most of our lives, we operate on autopilot. We make choices based on societal expectations, our family's desires, or a vague sense of what we should be doing. This is why so many people feel a persistent sense of misalignment, as if they are living someone else's life. By understanding your chart ruler, you are moving from autopilot to conscious navigation. You are now the captain of your own ship with a clear map and a reliable compass. You can look at a life choice, a new job, a new relationship, a move to a new city, and ask, does this align with the energy of my chart ruler? Let's revisit our friend with the Gemini Ascendant and the Mercury chart ruler. We know their life path is about communication and learning. Now, they are offered a job that pays well, but requires them to work in isolation, doing repetitive, non-communicative tasks. Before they knew their chart ruler, they might have taken the job for the money, only to feel drained and unfulfilled a few months later. But now, with this knowledge, they can see that the job is fundamentally out of alignment with their core energy. They can politely decline and hold out for a role that allows them to use their intellect and voice. A role that will not only be more fulfilling, but will also lead to more genuine success. This is the kind of conscious decision-making that understanding your chart ruler enables. It gives you a new lens through which to view your life. When you feel stuck or lost, you can turn to your chart ruler for guidance. Are you using your energy in the most effective way? Are you expressing yourself in a way that is authentic to you? The key here is not to just passively know this information, but to actively embody it. If your chart ruler is Mars, don't shy away from being a leader or taking risks. If your chart ruler is Venus, don't be afraid to prioritize harmony and beauty in your life. The more you lean into the energy of your chart ruler, the more you will feel a sense of effortless flow, as if the universe is conspiring to help you. The process of aligning with your chart ruler is a spiritual practice. It's about listening to your intuition, trusting your inner wisdom, and having the courage to live a life that is unapologetically yours. It's about moving from a state of questioning to a state of knowing. So, for your self-reflection today, I want you to ask yourself, what is one decision I can make this week, big or small, that is a direct and conscious expression of my chart ruler's energy? This is an actionable step toward a more authentic and empowered life. In our next section, we'll take this one step further and talk about how to use this knowledge for manifestation. You've found your power, but what if you want to use it to bring your desires into reality? This is where the magic happens. Understanding your chart ruler is a secret weapon for manifestation. Manifestation is not just about thinking positively. It's about aligning your energy with what you want to create. When you use the specific energy of your chart ruler, you are not just hoping or actively vibrating at the frequency of your purpose, and the universe responds to that. Think of it as having a custom-built magnet. You can try to attract things with a generic magnet, but it will only work so well. But if you know the exact frequency of what you want to attract, you can create a powerful, specific magnet that works with effortless precision. Your chart ruler is that custom magnet. It's a tool for you to create a spiritual practice that is uniquely yours, one that resonates on a soul level. Let's use our example of the person with the Sagittarius Ascendant and the Jupiter chart ruler. Their life path is about expansion, growth, and optimism. If this person wants to manifest a new opportunity, they shouldn't just sit and wait. They should use the energy of Jupiter to actively manifest. They could do this by engaging in activities that are They could read books on philosophy, travel to a new place, even a nearby town, or take a class on a topic that expands their mind. As they are doing these things, they are not just passively waiting, they are actively aligning their energy with the frequency of Jupiter, which is the very energy of opportunity and growth. They are saying to the universe, I am ready for more, and the universe responds. Now, let's take the person with the Taurus Ascendant and the Venus chart ruler. Their path is about creating stability, beauty, and value. If they want to manifest more financial abundance, they can use the energy of Venus to do it. They can spend time in nature, create something beautiful with their hands, or organize their home to be a place of harmony and comfort. They could also focus on creating a personal sense of self-worth and value, as Venus also rules this area. As they engage in these activities, they are not just passively hoping, They are embodying the very energy of what they want to attract. They are saying, I am a creator of value, and the universe responds by sending more opportunities for them to create and receive abundance. The key to this practice is embodiment. It's not about forcing yourself to be something you're not. It's about consciously and intentionally leaning into the natural energy of your chart ruler. This practice feels good because it is aligned with your soul. It's not a chore, it's a form of spiritual play. So, for your self-reflection today, I want you to ask yourself, what is one activity I can do this week that is a direct expression of my chart ruler's energy? And how can I do it with the intention of manifesting a specific desire? This is the path of a co-creator. In our next section, we'll move on to a powerful way to use this knowledge in your relationships. Now that you understand your own chart ruler and how to use its energy for personal empowerment, let's talk about how this knowledge can revolutionize your relationships. This is where we get into the realm of synastry, the art of comparing to birth charts to understand the dynamics between people. When you understand your chart ruler and the chart ruler of another person, you gain a powerful insight into the core nature of your connection. You can see how your life paths are meant to intersect, and where you can find support and growth. Think of it as two rivers. One is your river, and it flows in a certain direction, at a certain speed, and with a certain quality, your chart ruler. The other is your partner's river. When your rivers meet, do they flow in harmony, or do they crash into each other? Synastry, with the chart ruler as the focal point, helps you answer that. It is not about judging a connection as good or bad. It's about understanding its unique chemistry. The simplest and most profound insight comes from looking at the relationship between your chart ruler and your partner's chart ruler. If your chart ruler makes a harmonious aspect to your partner's chart ruler, it's a beautiful sign of natural alignment. Your core life paths are in sync. For example, if your chart ruler is Venus and your partner's chart ruler is Mars, a trine or sextile between them can indicate a powerful attraction and a natural flow of energy. Your core needs for harmony Venus are supported by their drive and action Mars, and vice versa. It's a dynamic of effortless co-creation. On the other hand, if your chart ruler is in a challenging aspect, a square or opposition to your partner's chart ruler, it can indicate a dynamic that is marked by tension and growth. It's not a bad thing. It's a cosmic invitation to learn and evolve together. For example, if your chart ruler is Saturn, the planet of structure and discipline, and your partner's chart ruler is Uranus, the planet of freedom and rebellion, you will likely face a constant push and pull. You might feel that your partner is too unpredictable, and they might feel that you are too rigid. The lesson here is to learn from each other. Your partner can teach you to be more spontaneous and to embrace change, and you can teach them the importance of responsibility and building a stable foundation. The relationship is a forge for personal growth, a place where you are constantly being challenged to integrate two very different energies. Beyond the rulers, you can also look at what house your partner's chart ruler falls in your chart, and vice versa. If your partner's chart ruler falls in your 7th house of relationships, it's a powerful sign that your connection is central to your life's path. Their core energy is meant to be a part of your relational journey. If their chart ruler falls in your 5th house of creativity and romance, it suggests a connection that is about passion, play, and creative expression. Understanding the chart rulers and synastry helps you move beyond superficial compatibility and into a deeper understanding of the soul contracts you have with others. It allows you to see that your biggest relationship challenges are often your greatest opportunities for growth. So, for your self-reflection today, if you are in a relationship or have a significant connection with someone, I want you to look at their chart and your own. Ask yourself, how do our chart rulers interact? And what does this tell me about the nature of our connection and the lessons we are meant to learn from each other? This is a beautiful and empowering way to approach your relationships. In our next section, we'll talk about how to use this knowledge to navigate the ever-changing energies of the stars. We've talked about your chart ruler as a static point in your birth chart, but astrology is a living, breathing system. The planets in the sky are always moving, and their movements called transits constantly interact with the planets in your birth chart. This is the part of astrology that helps you understand the energetic currents of your life in real time. A transit to your chart ruler is one of the most significant astrological events that can happen to you. It's a period of time when the universe is bringing a powerful energy to the very core of your being. Think of your chart ruler as the master key to your entire life. When a transiting planet makes an aspect to it, it's like a new, powerful force is being applied directly to that key. The transit activates the themes of your chart ruler, bringing them to the forefront of your consciousness and your life. These transits can feel like a major life event, a new challenge, or a powerful opportunity for growth. Let's go back to our friend with the Gemini Ascendant and the Mercury chart ruler. We know their life path is about communication and learning. Now, imagine that transiting Jupiter is making a conjunction to their Mercury. Jupiter is the planet of expansion and opportunity. This transit would feel like a major period of growth and learning. They might be offered a new job that requires them to speak publicly, or they might decide to go back to school to get an advanced degree. They could start a podcast or a blog that reaches a much wider audience than before. The energy of Jupiter is expanding their Mercury-ruled path, and they feel a sense of optimism and effortless flow. It's a period where their personal purpose is being supported by a powerful external force. Now, let's consider a more challenging transit. Imagine that transiting Saturn is making a square to their Mercury. Saturn is the planet of hard work, discipline, and restriction. This transit would feel very different. It might be a period where their communication feels stifled or where their mental processes feel slower than usual. They might face a major challenge at work that forces them to become more organized and methodical. They might have to take on a project that feels overwhelming and requires a great deal of discipline. This isn't a bad transit, it's a necessary one. Saturn is asking them to build a stronger foundation for their Mercury-ruled path. The lessons learned during this time will lead to a more mature and authoritative use of their intellect. The key to navigating these transits is awareness. When you know a major transit is happening to your chart ruler, you can stop fighting it and start working with it. If it's a challenging transit, you can lean into the lessons it is trying to teach you. If it's a harmonious transit, you can consciously align with the opportunities it is presenting. Your chart ruler is the most sensitive point in your chart. It is your soul's personal antenna, and transits to it are the messages the universe is sending you. By paying attention to them, you can navigate your life with grace, purpose, and a sense of cosmic timing. So, for your self-reflection today, I want you to look up any major transits happening to your chart ruler in the near future. Ask yourself, what kind of energy is the universe bringing to my core purpose, and how can I prepare to work with it consciously? This is the path of a conscious traveler. In our final section, we will bring all of this information together and summarize your chart ruler's ultimate role as your spiritual compass. We have reached the end of our journey, and what a profound journey it has been. We started with a simple question: how do you find your chart ruler? And we end with the understanding that this one single planet is the most important part of your entire astrological map. It is your soul's spiritual compass, your personal guide, and your key to living a life of purpose and authenticity. Your chart ruler is not just a point of information. It is a tool for self-mastery. Your sun sign tells you who you are at your core. Your moon sign tells you what you need to feel safe. But your chart ruler is the one who puts your hands on the steering wheel of your life and directs you toward your destiny. By understanding its sign, house, and aspects, you have gained a new level of self-awareness. You can now see why you are drawn to certain experiences, why certain relationships are so challenging, and why some of your biggest struggles are actually your greatest opportunities for growth. Remember that feeling of being lost, of not quite knowing your purpose? That feeling is often a signal that you are not aligned with your chart ruler. The moment you begin to live in harmony with its energy, that feeling of misalignment begins to fade, replaced by a profound sense of peace and purpose. You are no longer fighting the current. You are flowing with it effortlessly and gracefully. This is not about trying to be someone you are not. It's about having the courage to be exactly who you are. Your chart ruler is a constant and reliable guide. When you are faced with a difficult decision, you can turn to its energy for guidance. When you feel uninspired, you can do an activity that is ruled by your core planet to reignite your passion. This is not just a one-time practice. It is a lifelong conversation with your own soul. The more you listen, the more you will be guided. I hope this journey has empowered you to look at your life with new eyes. You are not a random collection of traits. You are a beautifully and meticulously designed being, with a clear purpose and a powerful inner compass. All you have to do is listen to it. That's all for today. Keep trusting your intuition, and I'll see you in the next one.